Welcome to Upgrade. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, and today we're going to bring a Heron mounting mount. It's pretty much an extended pole for lighting, cameras, pretty much a lot of heavy duty stuff that you want to mount. Instead of having these fancy little mounts, even microphones you can even mount on this. So it's a 4 feet and it can carry up to 3 pounds. So we're going to take a look at it and we're going to test it out. We're going to put a 2.5 pounds. If it can carry that stuff as advertised, because we're going as advertised is 3 pounds, we're going to add 2.5 pounds just to test it out. And we might even throw another 2.5 pounds out after that. So let's take a look and see what you guys get. You get the pole itself, and unfortunately the box is too large to be fitting in here, so I kind of had to remove that. You get the mount itself, and it's all nice and secure. It's heavy duty, kind of heavy duty, you know. You would say it's just it's a hollow aluminum pole. It has some great clamps. If you guys see this, it's just like adjustments. I mean, this is a fastener to actually tighten it down. I like this. It loosens up. You can it twists, it does everything. It seems like it has a grip on it. If you guys see, I'm gonna put a better picture of it, but this is lock. It's lock solid. I like that. I like the fastener. If you guys see it, it's like it crushes in between plastic and some knobs there are actually have some little cuts in there in between. I like that. One end is where you actually clamp down to the actual desk, and the other end is actually where you mount your components here, your camera, your lighting, anything. And this, we're gonna put a heavy duty camera on it to see if it could carry it and see how well it works. And they also have a balance, if you guys see it, right in the center, so you can make sure you're right center of gravity. You know, you could just line this up properly. If you guys can see it, I like that. They give you 2 accessories in here included. They give you the actual heavy duty mount that has 2 options. It could go on the top of it or on the side of it, and then it has a table grip here. An extra plus thing, this is I like this. I'm gonna open this up. This is something I like, and I actually got it for this particular reason. So let's open this up. This is actually a camera mount. It has 2 punctures in the side, so you could actually tie down to the system either from the top or from the side too. And this is for a camera to attach your phone, your cell phone. So this is perfect if you guys can see it. I like this extension, and this is a plus. I didn't even know they were throwing that in there. All right, so another thing that I forgot to mention that I just reviewed and saw for last, if you guys can see the mount itself, there's some, it's cut out right here, perfectly shaped for actually where you're gonna mount the system into. So there's 2 phases, the top and the side, and they give you a screwdriver like an Allen wrench with 2 screws that you could tighten up permanent after you're set and done. So they give you 2 screws and the actual fastener. It's like an Allen wrench, but it's not. It's actually Phillips in there, if you guys can see it. So the way it works, you basically find the direction you want it. If it's a side table, you're gonna mount it here on this side. If it's a straight out table, a flat table, then it's gonna go on the top. So the way it works, when you can loosen this up, and this is actually 360 degrees all over. So this thing actually has to line up. It's like a rail system, if you guys can see it. It just lines up perfectly fine in there. And once it's set up, you should be ready to go. So we'll put this together, and if you guys like to see stuff like this in action, let me know. I mean, I'm putting stuff like this for all sorts of things. If you guys have your own studio or your own place, this is probably one thing that you want to do. I'm gonna use it for a lot of reasons. This thing is actually, if it's heavy duty, if it claims it could carry out this weight, then it has a home. So this is a perfect thing for overhead artists, creators, DIYs that are creating stuff on YouTube. This is perfect to put overhead instead of making these elaborate systems. This is a great option. So I'm gonna put it up to use and see how well it works, and we're gonna put it on the table so we'll get a different angle of it. So now that we have tightened it, if you guys can see it, the screw's right in the center. It won't move out. it stays fixed, permanent, and this thing won't slide out at all by accident or anything. If you're gonna intend to move this, the whole thing will fall, of course. And it's located as well. It's set as one piece now. So we're gonna go ahead and do some testing and see how much weight it could carry. We're gonna start with the fastener. If you guys can see it, it's already fastened tight, nice and tight. We got this part as an option if you want to actually mount it from here, but we decided to mount it from here. Now if you want to give it more stabilization, you could flatten this up, and this could be as a flat surface. Of course it's going to lean to one side, or you could straighten it up. Right now I decided to go a little tilt, and if you can see, we're going to go higher view here. We have the also another fastener, and it's pretty tight right there. It's a little wobbly because the table's not stable enough, but we're going to stabilize that right now in a bit. We have this part right here where you actually put your camera in here. So let's go ahead and do a test on this, and we're going to take a look at it from my point of view, on this point of view, and see how well it works. All right, so we're going to take a look at the mount itself and see how sturdy it is. Right now it's a little wobbly, but I'm gonna put my weight on it right now, and we're gonna do a 2.5 pound. 2.5 pounds on this mount, see how well it works. Looks like it's working. 2.5 pounds, it's almost going as 3 pounds. This is the weight of an actual camera, all right? So if you add another 3.5 pounds, let's see what happens. Let's see if we could break this. Oh, it's holding. It's holding. Let me just stabilize it, make sure. We add 5 pounds on this system right now, and it's working very, very well. I'm very impressed with it, how it's working. I feel confident that it could hold a heavy-duty lighting or camera that's almost under 5 pounds. All right, so we got the fastener here. If you guys can see it, we're gonna put a Canon 80D. You guys can see it. Canon 80D, really heavy. It's about 2.5 pounds, close to what we have the weight. Like the fastener that they give you. And it also locks in on the side of it. We're gonna do that in a bit. So go ahead and tighten it up. It has a flathead tightener if you want to tighten it up, or you could hand screw it in too, which I like about that. So let's go ahead and mount this up. And the way it works, it has a rail system too. But you have to lock it in too. So once you have it on the rail system, you have to lock it in, and it's perfectly locked in right now, if you guys can see, in a perfect angle. And this is movable if you want this degree, and the balance is not that bad. I mean, it's a little wobbly because of the table that I have, but if you have a flatter surface with more weight on it, that it's less mobile like I have, you'll have no problem whatsoever. This will be a perfect angle to film anything that you're doing on the bottom of you. Obstructions of anything or obstacles of anything that you have in front of you, which is great, gives you the actual lineup. And let's go ahead and put it down in a different view. As you can see, I have plenty of room to put whatever I want. I could actually move this even higher above me and bring it lower, and I'll have a better degree, more space for what you're gonna film. Right now, currently it's showing on this way, but we're gonna actually phase it up, and you're gonna see how everything, and we're gonna put a little test sample, which you can do. And also, I'm also gonna put a little camera in here and see if I could film some of the stuff and show you guys the bird's eye view, how can you zoom in, how can you zoom out, if it's even worth it. Fun. So if you guys can see the degree that I am, I'm actually could sit down straight down in here and work on the actual subject that I'm working on. And we're also going to start filming from here, which you can see. And I'm going to move just a little bit, a couple things, and I'm going to try to sync it up as much as possible. And then I'm going to zoom in and out so you can see the degree. And I'm actually in the system itself. Don't need anything else but the camera, a heavy duty camera I'm using, 80D Canon 80D. It's one of the big heavy ones in the market, but there are, like I said, I just demonstrated it could carry up to 5 pounds above whatever they announced. But I wouldn't recommend you go higher than what I just have right now. This is perfect. It eliminates a lot of space for you to do whatever it is that you need to do, which we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to zoom out and see how far is it that we can zoom out. If you guys can see it, it's a little crooked because lining it up is going to take a while, but I don't have the time. We set it up. We did a couple tests. It ran perfect. The angle of it
If I knew this was available before I end up building something that I'm going to show you guys, I would have been a lifesaver. But unfortunately, it gives me better options to clear out a desk, get only one desk for everything, for viewing, reviewing, all sorts of things. So we'll come back and check it out. And like you see, I can zoom in and I can zoom out. So if you guys check it out, if you guys like this stuff, let me know. All right, if you guys can see my homemade overhead, it's a piece of wood with another piece of wood with fasteners here. And I had another option before for another camera, but it didn't work out it didn't pan out. I got the Elgato lighting system in here, and it goes all the way down to the bottom. If you guys can see it, I got a little mess in here. Two monitors to see what I'm doing, the camera and everything else. All my tools in the back. But this is pretty much what I have set up in here. It's a homemade rig. But it's been working. I actually use this shelf for actually adding extra stuff, important stuff on the top. Extra lighting comes in, but fortunately I can't fold this, so maybe I'm gonna start using that for actually the light itself, Elgato, which is a great option. I like this little rig, but there's not enough room for me. I wish I had this system here prior to setting that up, and maybe I'll start entering this stuff, and sooner or later you'll start seeing that stuff. Better lighting, better editing, better video. I mean, this is a great option. I like it all around. Might buy two more, but I just seen the price picked up a little bit more on this. I guess it's one of the #1 out there systems out there. So if you guys want to see or start streaming yourself, or editing DIY stuff and documenting stuff, this is a great option. All right, so my review is that this is one of the best items I've seen. I showed you some of my homemade DIY overhead system, and it's not the greatest. All right, so pretty much I like this all around. This is very sturdy, very strong. I did have a little issue where I trust issues, pretty much. That's what it is. So this part, I wish I had a lock. I wish I had a block in here, so when you face the camera down, even if you don't tighten it up, it still won't fall. So I wish it could just include that part in here, just a little block in here, maybe just so you go in only entry one way for mounting your camera, because the camera is over $1,000. You don't want to have something so simple to fix to actually just drop. I've been even thinking about soldering myself one of them in there, so I might just modify it myself and see if I can do that. So just as a safety mechanism on this system, so when you tighten it up, this system either falls out or in, and of course you have to hold the screw. It goes either way, so I wish it was only one way. If you guys could see it, I wish it was only one way to go. Unfortunately, it's not one way, and you could end up if you don't lock it properly, you're gonna end up dropping your camera. But you know, if you're very smart and you want to take precautions, you would maybe double check everything, and once in a while you don't want to see it sliding it off too, and make sure you tighten it up. Unfortunately, they don't have a flathead entry here, so you could tighten it up with some tools. It has to be hand tied pretty much. So if you don't have enough strength or something and you're not comfortable with it, then you're gonna have an issue. Another thing I liked about it, that you could actually take this whole thing off and add a different accessory. Like I said, you could add a microphone. You can move it around. It could be a mic stand. It could hold a couple, like I said, it could hold almost 5 pounds. If I knew this was some sort of device earlier than expected, than me building this thing, I would have definitely bought this. I mean, during the time I was searching for something, this was not it didn't exist that much, you know. And if it did, I didn't find it. I ended up building this elaborate system here, so you guys could see some of the stuff I have in here. I'm gonna take a picture and show you guys a couple of things, how I made a homemade DIY overhead system, and this would eliminate the cost of buying this big old elaborate system and helping me out. So if you guys like what you guys see, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, out.